Hi! I didn't see you there. Today I'd like to talk about Pixie Prints Rosetta, and I am so excited to talk about this doll. If I remember correctly, this was one of my very first dolls since I started recollecting like Disney Fairy stuff. I did have Disney Fairy dolls when I was a kid, and I have since repurchased those dolls. But on my journey of rediscovering and sort of embracing my true hyperfixations and special interest, I found this doll at Ollie's of all places. And I have loved this doll forever and ever. Yeah, so I would like to talk about her and rant about her and just show off how beautiful she is. I love this doll. So I'll put up a picture on the screen, and on the front of the box it says Pixie Prints in this Disney Fairies font. This doll and many other characters that I have of dolls were produced by Jakks Pacific, a toy manufacturing company. Off to the side of the photo of the front of the box actually, where you can see styling pictures of Rosetta, it says create fun floral looks, and framing the box is some green and purple flowers. On the back of the box it has a little story that reads, as Tink and her friends explore the great and the small, they suddenly hear a most curious call. They follow a voice to a place from dreams where the touch of leaves make their clothes blossom and gleam. I just love that so much. Midway down the box, next to more styling pictures, it says layer in combined fashions to create fun flowery looks. Then at the bottom it shows Tink and Syl in their pixie print outfits, and I want them so bad. It is so difficult to kind of find certain lines of the Disney fairies. I am researching for another future video, and I am using Dollect to figure out what lines some of my other dolls are from, and I'm just so very grateful. Thank you, Expendences, for that doll documentary page website. I'm going to try my best to remember to link it down below. So now that we've looked at the packaging, I'd like to take a closer look at the actual doll and describe her in great detail, from the tip of her wings to the tip of her toes. I mean, not like that, but kinda. So let's begin. First, if you noticed in the photos, these are not her wings. I cannot find those wings anywhere. They're not in my toy chest, and they're not in in between the books down here, so I don't know where they went, but they are the same shape as these wings here, so it's fine. It's fine. I like the creativity of the colored wings, but I do also like the movie accurate wings. these are Rosetta's wings. Did you know that every single fairy in the Disney Fairies franchise has a different wing pattern, just like we have a different fingerprint? How cool is that? So moving on to like her face, let's get a very closer look at Rosetta. Rosetta has green eyes and light pink lipstick or lip color, and her hair is styled in this like wraparound twist, and it branches off in the back. Her hair is like a deep red, and she has these two very curly twists framing her face. One is the deep red and one is pink. Now, through some aging of this doll, her hair has definitely lightened, because her hair used to be a darker color. Can you see that? Yes, you can. This pink streak used to be a lot darker, so with age it has lightened, but that's okay. So let's move on to her outfit. So first, her top is printed on, and it is the same print that her overskirt is. And sometimes I don't like printed on tops, but in this case I just love it. It has like a scalloped edge, and it's also doubles as a swimsuit. Let me show you. So the main gimmick of these dolls is that you can layer and like piece things together to make different outfits or different looks. So I'm not going to completely take it off, but this printed on top does double as a swimsuit. Now, in actual reality, I don't think a fairy would wear a swimsuit because they can't get their wings wet. Did you know that? Wings soak up water just like a sponge and get extremely heavy. That's why Vidya had to walk almost the entirety of the film until it started raining in Great Fairy Rescue. Her wings were extremely heavy and like they take forever to dry. So, I mean, that's like factual. I know that this is a plain play line doll, but you know, so she doesn't really touch water. Never has she. But the second layer would be these pants or leggings, and they have discolored with age as well, but they are still their vibrant red color. And then the next layer would be this short red, almost fuchsia pink, sparkly see-through skirt. That's a big description. And then the next layer would be her overskirt, which you guys got a really good look at, but it's literally just like a drawstring attached to some ribbon with a little bit of Velcro to fasten it in the front, but putting it on the doll creates this nice high-low look. And sometimes I like to take her wings off and use it as a cape. It also has that scalloped edge as it does at the very top of the printed on top. And then next are her shoes, and I just love the detail in these shoes. Rosetta would definitely wear something like this. Yes, these shoes are very elegant, and there are a lot of sculpting details on the shoes. It looks like they're made out of like partial like wood and very maybe durable flower petals, and they are also that pink color. So there are a lot of pinks and reds going on, but there are touches of greens, and I quite like that because that breaks up all the red that's going on. There are touches of greens in the print of the overskirt and in the printed top. Like right next to this rose here is a bright green leaf. And of course, Rosetta's eyes are a main staple of the green colors. And I just absolutely love this doll. She has articulation at the head, quite a bit of movement, though it is limited sometimes by the wings. She has articulation at the shoulders, the elbows, yes, elbows and wrist, and at the hip, and at the knee. So she can do that famous fairy pose where they're flying and they have one like leg like up. Very cute. I love posing my dolls, so these deluxe dolls, which I have another deluxe doll review coming soon, are all, I think, articulated, and that just makes for so many more posable possibilities. The wings are attached by like a clip in the back. That over time, if you are removing the wings over and over again, can split the plastic of the wings. So be very careful. Though if that does happen to you, you can use clear tape. So when you don't put the tape on the doll, you don't see it, but it also prevents it from ripping anymore because it's supported by the clear tape. So yeah, that's everything about Pixie Prints Rosetta. I love this doll. Fly with you later. Bye.